Even if NLC decide to go on strike today, I bet you the political class of this day do not care if the workers stay at home for 1 year.
Welcome once again to another beautiful episode here on Noble TV Live. My name is Valentine Agogo, and today I'm here on set with a very new guest. We've had him some time ago, a journalist, a political analyst, public affairs analyst as well. Well, you could call him an activist. Well, all right, I'm here on set with Comrade Monday Ike Ochoma. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here once again.
Now, good to have you today.
Yeah.
You know, currently, we know the NLC has already announced the date, fixed the date for the nationwide strike, all right, which is going to be on the 5th, all right. Now, how a lot of people feel it's still going to be one of those unserious moves that might turn out to be at the last minute to be announced as a peaceful protest, just like the last one. What's your opinion about this strike that NLC has fixed for on the 5th of this month, September?
Yeah, you know, if you cast your mind back to the days of Pa Imodu, the days of Adam Soshimole, the days of at a point Pascal Bafio, when you hear that NLC is going on strike, you start getting prepared and getting worried and getting set for the strike. But these days, when you hear that NLC is planning for strike, you wave it with the back of the hand, because the people now look at NLC as a toothless bulldog, in the sense that most of their threats, most of their strike never go beyond the shores of the office. You see, people no longer take them serious. One, because people felt NLC have been compromised. The NLC has already been bastardized, so people no longer take NLC serious. So I wouldn't be surprised also if at the end of the day it goes the same way.
Like the previous one that became a peaceful protest. Yes. You know, but initially, what NLC planned was to have the first peaceful protest, all right, and then they will do more like that. But all of a sudden, we only had one, and now we have this strike. You know, like you said earlier, just a while ago, you said back in the days when you heard those names you mentioned, Shomole and others, when they say they're going on, NLC is going on strike, everyone panics, and there was like, why is it not so anymore? Besides the fact that there are speculations that NLC is basically a toothless bulldog. Is that how it really is, or you perceive there's more to it?
Yeah, in the first place, NLC has lost its grips, its power when it comes to controlling of workers, because first of all, the economy is not favorable for them. You cannot tell a taxi driver to go on strike, or an artisan to go on strike, or a market man or woman to go on strike when he has no food on his table. There is no job anywhere. So the few that are able to find little job, they hold on tight to it. Okay. So that's one. Two, NLC also has been I think it was right from during the days of Obasanjo, he made sure he keeps all the wings of NLC, all the rudiments that make NLC to be a strong, whole strong entity. Yeah. It's no longer there. We have a lot of unions that are no longer affiliated to NLC these days. Wow. Thirdly, you see, we are working with politicians that do not have your interest at heart. Even if NLC decide to go on strike today, I bet you the political class of this day do not care if the workers stay at home for 1 year. It is none of them. Instead of them to even try to solve the problem that lead to that strike, they will even you see them going to court, NLC trying to do everything to suppress the rights and privilege of the people. Thirdly, NLC of today is also having a serious issue because of the alignment with Labour Party and P2P in quotes. Whatever action or inaction they take now, people look at them because they're now looking at like a political entity instead of a labor union. Yeah. So these are the key factors that has already made NLC to lose their fight.
You know, but NLC has its constitutional rights to function. All right. So can't these come, because they have people like Falana with them, all right, the senior advocate of Nigeria. They have other strong men with them. So can't these rights be put in place where we'll come back to the previous days where you mentioned strike? Like I remember the last protest that they announced, some people wanted to do some panic buying, like, oh, NLC is going on strike. But most people were not moved. People I interviewed, they were not moved because they felt, I better forget it, this particular NLC, not the NLC. Now just, they're just people playing around and all that. How would you, if you're put in a position to give the Nigerian Labour Congress council, what would you say are the steps they should take towards becoming taken seriously whenever they make, or they are on the table to negotiate, or they want to announce strikes, or whatever the case? So politicians can't just wave them off, or the poor who they are fighting for will not take them on seriously because they feel they need to go and fend for themselves. So what measures do you think NLC should start putting in place to be taken seriously in the nearest future, or hopefully this very forthcoming strike?
It's really going to be very difficult for NLC, because the NLC we are seeing today, the political class, the government we are seeing today, is a government that do not care for the interest of the masses. They do not care about your welfare. So even if NLC decide to go on strike, the worst they can do is use threats. So I wouldn't know what goes beyond the so-called meeting they do hold with NLC. I wouldn't know what go beyond the closed door, because I've not been privileged to be there. But I tell you today, we are in a society where the government, the law it's not for everybody.
Okay.
This is a government that chooses part of the law constitution to obey, and part that don't want to obey. The part of court order to obey, and the one not to obey. This is a country, a political class. These are leaders that do not care. Most of their policies are anti-people policy. They do not care how you feel. A government that says 30,000 naira is too much to pay somebody for a whole 1 month. Yet they budgeted. Do you know how much they budgeted for buying of cars for themselves? So they do not care. Even if the petrol price is being sold for 1,000 naira, it's none of their business.
But another thing another angle we should look at it, if they call for a strike, the strike is meant to be for everybody, for the good of the entire nation. Yes. A lot of Nigerians are not planning to obey that strike order from NLC. Yes. Now, how is NLC supposed to implement the strike? Because they can't use force. They can't. What are the measures you think they could put in place to enforce strike? Because I remember back there when Labour organized the strike during Goodluck Jonathan's time, the NLC and Oshomole had structures in place to ensure that people who violated the strike were punished. In other words, they had boys working for them that they could intimidate you to shutting down your shop. They could intimidate you to closing down your business because it's for your own good. They weren't beating up people, but they would make sure you do that. Does NLC right now have that kind of structure to actually implement that order of strike?
Yeah, first of all, you ask yourself who are the constituent members of the leadership of NLC. Okay. What was their pedigree before they joined NLC? Who were they before they joined NLC? This is that if you have somebody who has a questionable character or somebody who has been sponsored by politicians to come up to that and become NLC president, believe me, there is nothing he do or he will do that will make those that put him there to take him serious. Well, that is one. Secondly, the people are hungry. Okay. If you look at a level 6, 7 to 4, 10, 2, 1, 7 server in the system, and the agency is calling for strike, the employer is telling him, you go on strike, you no get salary. The little salary that does not even take them home.
Yeah.
They prefer to disobey NLC than disobey their employers. So people are hungry. If there are some civil servants that they survive on meager things they get from the office daily, not even on monthly salary, which does not come regularly. So they will prefer going to work to get that little thing they get to sustain their family. Oh. So that is why today you find it difficult. People find it difficult to obey NLC. Is it the artisan on the road that gets work once in a week, and that day is going to get work, NLC is telling him to shut down? Is it those in private sector that have graduates who have lived for a job for 10 years? Suddenly somebody from a private sector employs him today to go on strike, and the employer says if you go on strike you lose your job. Because people no longer have that job security. People no longer have that feeling that I am being protected by the laws or constitution of this country. The government do not care. It's like what happens in the election. No matter what you preach, that people should not sell their vote. When somebody have not seen 2,000 naira for a whole week, and somebody is telling him or her, vote for me, I'm giving you 5,000 naira, I'm giving you 10,000 naira. He knows who plays the piper, he plays the tune.
Yeah.
So that is what is happening these days.
Okay, all right. That's as much as we can take for this episode on the forthcoming strike. We honestly do hope that it holds and it works, because at the end of the day, it's for our own good. It's for the improvement of the situation in the country right now. The NLC are not fighting for themselves. They are fighting for the entire nation. Labor comprises of each and every one of us. All right. Now, we know that a lot of challenges affecting their operations, and we are hoping seriously that the law would work in their favor this time, or in our favor this time. That's as much as we can take. Please do like, share, drop your comments, and don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification button for similar prompt updates. Thank you.